Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contingency Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
Well, take two. Take two, you know?
Why?
Because
of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darth refuses to figure his recording stuff out. It's really annoying. We unfortunately had to scrap our last recorded episode, which, I think we both agree was a pretty decent conversation. But, the unfortunate thing is that sometimes recording issues happen. And we had kind of a double whammy where it looks like, at least on your recorder, it seemed like it was going off of the external mic for some reason. And then my backup, which is just the Zoom call, sounded like garbage. We just did not have a very good connection on your end or something because it just sounded bad. And I tried to run filters. I tried to run a bunch of different stuff on both tracks to make it sound better. It just wasn't there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I wonder if my connection from my mic cable is starting to go out on line 1. Maybe I need to try line 2 next time.
Well, I mean, it's possible, but I think from the Zoom standpoint, I legitimately just think it was just a bad, maybe not like full internet or whatever, or bad connection with Zoom. That's what I think happened there. But yeah, we're back again. We're gonna try and get a little bit ahead of some content. Obviously, the big thing is Book of Boba Fett is coming up, so we will, run, weekly with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just been, now at this point, it would have been 4 weeks since we put out an episode, which even before that, it was like 4 weeks before.
Yeah, definitely a couple of hiatuses for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, we already explained that in the last episode. I mean, it's just kind of like a change in scope of content a bit and, getting a little bored, I guess, with some of the stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned it, I think, in the now unreleased episode, the comics, and we've mentioned this before, some of the comics, especially War of the Bounty Hunters, got really old. And then the books, we haven't really kept up with everything High Republic either.
Yeah, we've let a couple of the comics slide, and I think we have at least one, maybe 2 books now.
Well, there were a couple of books, and then there was the audio drama that we didn't do either.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I feel like doing any of those that we haven't picked up on right now. Now, future books, maybe. Although I'm not quite sure about the direction now that we have effectively ended the Drengir, and we're just solely dealing with the Nihil, which I'm not.
And the mystery creature.
Yeah, I'm not fully interested in that, but we are going to, I guess, depending on what we can get done, but the following week after this is released, we should be getting some High Republic comics in the mix, the main line, and then what was the other one called? Yeah, I don't have it here, like Trial of something or other.
Yeah.
So we'll look into those.
Not to mention here, eventually, hope we can get Thrawn in, but that's going to be probably a couple weeks down the line.
Yeah, we do want to go over the new Thrawn, and then the main comic lines have restarted again. I mean, so they're out of War of the Bounty Hunters officially now.
I wonder if they still copy each other.
Well, yeah, that remains to be seen, but I think we definitely have some stuff to recap, but we sort of need to sit down and redo schedule and kind of figure out what works best overall. So we'll kind of see how that all shakes out. But yeah, we did want to go back and re-talk through a couple of the topics that we talked about last week, which we weren't able to release. But I guess just to get her started here. So how's the week been going?
Not too bad. Now about a week out from Thanksgiving, and definitely had a nice little break there, and kind of took another full week off this week. Honestly, I haven't done much of anything other than recoup from all that mess and trying to get some schooling set up and whatnot. But marching along. Been a good week. What about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad overall. It's been a fairly busy couple of weeks. And I mean, this week I've been off of work. So I've been trying to complete some projects. I have some stuff, today and then the weekend to get through as well. But yeah, no, it hasn't been too bad for the most part. But yeah, removed from the holidays. Well, one set of holidays, and basically hard charging into the next round of Christmas and New Year's and all that good stuff, and then we turn the year. We turn the year again. So I guess kind of an unfortunate thing that I'm kind of working through the decision is I might wind up not going to Celebration.
Yeah.
So, we bought, well, it was me and Ez from Hyperspace Hangout and Lindsay from Clashing Sabers. We all kind of got together and got VIP tickets, now almost 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And really excited about it. Definitely a different point. And I got to thinking about this a little bit too. Even really with the show, we're at a different point too. Because like at the time, I was trying to do a lot of collaborations. We were really trying to push a lot of stuff. We've kind of backed off a little bit of that, and just enjoying conversations more now. But yeah, I mean the celebration sounded really cool, but it's like there are a lot of people dropping out. There's still potentially a lot of restriction. And I don't necessarily know that I feel like it. I mean, I'd kind of like to go to California, but I don't necessarily know if I want to do that, especially if effectively everybody starts dropping out.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to go alone.
Yeah. So that's probably going to be next. And I guess the hope will be that down the road they bring it back to sort of the East-ish or East Coast or Midwest or something like that. Do Chicago again or Florida, something like that. So it'd be a little easier travel also. But yeah, that's unfortunate. So I got to kind of look at maybe getting rid of those tickets, but I'll be more than happy to get the whatever $900, almost $1,000 back for those tickets. But anyway, yeah, I had a great experience in Chicago with the VIP passes and everything. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, just don't know. Not sure. Still deciding through that at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully get that all figured out. Maybe turn events and people are still able to do it, but
yeah, we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I guess that's kind of really about all the basic chit chat there. That's probably the shortest chit chat session we've had. So yeah, let's just start rolling in through a couple of things. I'm going to start with something that really we didn't honestly mean to move into when we were trying to do this the first time, but so the Book of Boba Fett's coming up. We already did a trailer reaction, but more recently they kind of had. I don't know if we missed it, but I don't remember it in there. So I feel like it was an elongated trailer where effectively the first frame is basically Boba Fett, kind of in like a medical scenario. So we're assuming now that possibly we might get the story of how Boba Fett escaped the Sarlacc pit, which I think is what everybody kind of wants.
yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest mystery for a lot of people with may not have read certain other non-canon books now is how he survived.
Well, I was just looking over your shoulder. So Tales from Jabba's Palace, that was we did an episode on that when Book of Boba, or no, when he came into the Mandalorian, we started talking about that.
And that was about the only story worth talking about in that one.
Yeah, for sure. That wasn't necessarily the best book, but a little book of short stories. But yeah, I don't really think there's any real reason to go back over a Book of Boba Fett, Godfather on Tatooine type of deal, sort of looking like. But I think it would be neat to finally kind of solve the mystery. Like, how did he actually get out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because, I mean, we've read about it, but it would be cool to see it live.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they would even do a flashback of it or something.
That would probably be difficult to create. I mean, especially with practical effects, that would be interesting to do a full bit.
I don't know, maybe. I don't see why they couldn't do it. They could scale it down quite a bit. So I don't know. I mean, it's usually the question. Like I said, I mean, we already kind of talked about, again, we talked about this. I'm not quite 100% like crazy excited about Book of Boba Fett. I think it's fine. I hope it'll be good. It's not that many episodes. What do we say? Like 8 or 10 or 7? Yeah. So it's not a very long running series either. But, you know, again, kind of coming in for not making the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with getting the series over a movie, honestly.
Sure. Well, I wouldn't necessarily need to see a Boba Fett movie.
Yeah, I certainly think neither of us were excited when that was first announced alongside Kenobi and everything else as a potential movie. So, yeah, it's a good alternative. I don't know. I have not necessarily high hopes, but I'm sure based on what we've already seen from Mandalorian that it'll be entertaining. Just maybe not the most, fulfilling thing for us.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I mean that's all we really got to say about that, I think.
Yeah.
So, let's go over a couple of little smaller pieces of news. We had a casting announcement for Ahsoka, the series. Ivana Sakano, maybe. There's an H there. Or I would have just said Sakno or Sakno, but from Pacific Rim, which apparently you watched.
Yeah.
I never watched it. All I know is that she clearly likes deep cut clothing.
Yeah.
Every picture is this one picture of her with this really deep cut kind of blazery looking thing. So I don't know enough about her really. So I don't know. What do you remember of her? Do you remember anything of her from like Pacific Rim?
It's been quite a while since I've watched it. I really don't. I think she was like some admiral's daughter or something who was also in the military, and I don't really remember much beyond that. I would have to rewatch it to really tell you much about her.
Well, I mean, her like just general credit stuff is pretty short. Kind of first credit in 2005. I don't know any of these. A lot of these kind of look like, sort of like home country sort of things, wherever she is from. Which I believe I remember we said Ukraine, right?
I think so.
When we tried to do this first time. She was in the Chernobyl TV miniseries. I don't know any of these other movies. Some people probably will, but I don't know anything about them. So, yeah, there you go.
It is interesting, though, in some of these background posters, in some of the pictures she's been seen in, we do have some blueface going on.
Yeah. So I think that the thought is that she might be cast as Admiral Arlani. We've speculated about what the Ahsoka series is going to be like, and I would prefer to just have my last season of Rebels personally, but if they choose to do it live action, fine. Fine. That's fine. I don't know how well Blueface is going to look on screen. They're going to have to smooth that out, I think. They're going to have to cast an Ezra and a Thrawn, conceivably.
Yeah. And no one really comes to mind for Ezra, personally, for me. I'm sure you could easily do it, but... Yeah, I mean, it would be a big undertaking to switch to complete live action. I don't necessarily know if I'd want that out of our final season, though. I don't know, it'd just be kind of jarring to switch over, especially when doing a rewatch of everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I think people really get enamored with live action, and I mean Ahsoka was done pretty well, so I get it. And this is someone that they're talking about, Ezra for Mina Masood, who is in the Aladdin, live action Aladdin. I don't necessarily look at him and see Ezra Bridger though. I'm not necessarily sure about. I mean, maybe they could make it. I'm not, again, I don't know much about the actor aside from the fact that he was in the live action Aladdin. He has some other credits here, but nothing that I particularly know of. Are they already crediting him for? Or is this just like rumor type of deal? I don't know. Anyway, fine. I mean, that I wouldn't necessarily hate that. I don't necessarily look at him and see Ezra Bridger.
Yeah.
To the point though, that there is another potential here for a Sabine live action Sabine Wren. So we have Natasha Bordizzo, maybe Natasha Lou Bordizzo, who's an Australian actress with some Asian descent here. I mean, I know what Guns Akimbo is. That was that weird weird movie with Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe, who had guns attached to his hands or whatever. But again, not much that she was the one who did the 2016 Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I don't know if it's a remake or it's a Netflix thing.
Yeah, we've talked about that enough times between last episode and our Boshed episode. I might have to watch that now.
Yeah, maybe. So she's done some stuff. Is she Sabine? Sure. I mean, I guess. I don't. She would be fine, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I'll take that, I guess.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were really looking for her voice actress, Tia Sakar, who I don't know. I think would have. I don't. Let me actually look. Does she have any acting credits to her? Okay, yeah, it looks like she does. A lot of TV. A lot of TV, actually. Fugitive. I don't know what that is. Guilt Party, After Party. A lot of Parties, A Good Place. I know that's a show.
She's in American Dad.
Once. There's a voice. She did a voice. A couple episodes of Supergirl. Obviously, Sabine Wren in Forces of Destiny. Alex Inc. I have no idea. Rebels, of course. Yeah, so I mean, she has a pretty decent resume, actually.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I mean, again, it's not like I know what all of this is, but definitely a more of a resume. I don't know. That looks like Sabine to me.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know why, but she looks. Obviously, she's the voice, but she looks more like what I would think of Sabine. I mean, obviously with different hair, because she has obviously very black hair and everything, which is great. It looks amazing, but if you turn that blue or something, cropped it a little bit, cut it a little shorter. I don't know. Her face just looks like Sabine to me.
Yeah, and even if her face didn't work, it would be kind of better to have the voice than the face, personally, I think.
Well, that's the old Ashley Eckstein argument, though. I don't think, Ashley Eckstein definitely has acting credits, but to play, and I think that they chose the right actress for Ahsoka. I mean, but look at her though. Look at her.
Yeah.
That to me, I don't know. It weirdly screams Sabine. Now, the other sort of, I guess, thing that we did point out in the now deleted with Natasha, she apparently she's a real martial artist though. So she has some fighting down. I don't remember what it was. If it was was it Taekwondo and a karate or something? She's a black belt and some stuff. So, so she at least has some of the. Oh, there's a picture with her with different hair color. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Tia has the face structure for it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. But having some background in hand-to-hand combat will be pretty helpful. I mean, you see some actors, they do get, training for choreography, but that doesn't necessarily mean they do well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she has a black belt in Taekwondo. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine. I just think it would have been one of those kind of cool things to put the voice actress in the live action, and I think it would have worked. And I think Tia Sakara has been open to this as well. I'm pretty sure that she's been, pretty vocal on Twitter about like being open to playing her character live action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there she's kind of got like shorter hair. I don't know, man. She just looks like Sabine to me.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but she looks like Sabine. So anyway, but we have the two castings. So it does look like Ahsoka is kind of filling out a bit more. Mm-hmm. If we do get Auralani, the conceivable thought would be that we would actually, involve the Chiss in some form or fashion, whether that's in the, sort of expanded galaxy or if they're coming here for some reason. But I do think that would be interesting.
If they ever actually did throw Thrawn in the mix, it's going to be harder not to find an actor that looks like him, but can talk in those mannerisms. That would be kind of difficult.
Well, we have basically just Mark Thompson's reading.
Right.
So that can change. I don't know if most people are actually going to think about that as much, because how many people actually have listened to the audio version of it,
True.
But
it's hard to read the book without thinking of it.
Well, now that because I was up really late last night. We also had them in Rebels, obviously, so it was like similar, not quite as thick as the audiobooks, but still very much there. So yeah, that's. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's almost to the point I don't necessarily know what Mark Thompson looks like, and I'm sure it wouldn't necessarily be a match, but just because of how he speaks, I think he'd be perfect.
Well, let's look him up. That guy.
Ooh.
Nah, he's just a beard guy. He's just a beard guy. It doesn't look like he has any like acting. It's just mainly voice work, which is obvious. I mean, that makes sense. So, no, I don't know. I'm trying to find the one guy. No, come on. Stop being a dick. I hate computers. Just give me what I want on the fly. Jason Isaacs. I know that they've floated Jason Isaacs around as a potential Thrawn here and there. But, who knows? There are a couple of others, but we'll have to see. And they might not even do Thrawn, but it is what it is. And again, our other actress might not be Auralani. I mean, she might be something else,
Yeah.
That could be a swerve as well. So, but at any rate, it looks like Ahsoka is sort of, fleshing out a bit more. And, I think we'll look forward to seeing that, I would say. All right. Do you have the other article that we were talking about?
Yeah, I didn't want to get too close to the recorder with my phone because that kind of messes
it is one of those
up.
things.
But it was from comicbook.com. So basically, we're just kind of talking about the direction we're going with Star Wars here, and unfortunately, a lot of these characters that we got from the new trilogy weren't really fleshed out all that great. And obviously they've done a fairly decent job of fleshing them out through the comics and the books and whatnot, Snoke and Phasma to an extent, a few others, but
I don't know where you're getting Snoke. They didn't say Snoke in there, did they?
yeah, because
in the article.
I think they did. Unless
I don't think it said anything about Snoke. If it did,
you were talking about the Kennedy article, right? Just talking about how they fleshed out. Some of these
so just a synopsis. It was. I don't need it. It was a general quotation from an article she did for another magazine, and she basically insinuated that she wanted to continue the story with sequel characters. I remember it saying like Finn and Rey and Phasma. I don't remember saying Snoke, but
the one I had Snoke.
Okay,
it was just giving examples of some of the people they've taken the time to flesh out. Obviously, Palpatine's cloning and everything.
There's no reason to do anything more with Snoke.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that was the biggest disappointment of all time. But like, you know, we were talking about this. You know, my whole thing is I wanted the movies to almost be like a triple buddy thing with Rey, Finn, and Poe going off and doing Rey, Finn, and Poe adventures.
Yeah,
that's what I honestly think if you want to flesh it out, that would make an amazing TV series.
It really could, especially with how much they're doing TV now. If you could get them all to sign off on it, I mean, that could be a long running show.
Well, I mean, let's not call it a TV show. Let's call it a mini series because everybody gets a little bit weird about that sometimes when it's like, well, it's not TV. No, we're not asking them to be TV actors. What we're doing is we're trying to get them out, but there's no reason to do a movie. I don't see it being a movie, but you could do hour-long, you know, like 6 hour-long episodes where you kind of go through either new adventures or expanded adventures with live action folks. And now I'm remembering things we talked about. The only thing that I do remember about that is so John Boyega didn't have a great exit with Disney. Seems like they're patching it up, which is good. I don't know what he's done acting-wise. Maybe I should look that up. I know Daisy Ridley has been kind of doing some stuff. Oscar Isaacs has been very busy, including Dune. Yeah, I mean, spoilers, but the book is also from the 60s or whatever. He's dead. So he's not coming back, but I can't spell his name, but I got the general sentiment there. So what exactly has he been? I know he's been doing some campaigns. He's had like some fashion campaigns and stuff like that.
I have not heard of any potential movies with him or anything since.
Yeah. So, oh wow, podcast series.
He's doing a podcast
Well,
now actively.
They're listing it as a podcast series on IMDb. I don't know what that is. So yeah, he's got some movies here that are either in pre or post production. I don't know what any of these are. Naked Singularity, They Clone Tyrone, 892, The Woman King, The Test, Borderland, and Attack the Block 2.
That's all next year.
Yeah, I mean, conceivably. 2 are in post-production. They're filming The Woman King, and then there's 3 in pre-production, so that could go either way.
Yeah. Decent list, though. I mean, it's good to see that he's not just going to drop off the face of the earth.
He was also in Pacific Rim.
He was?
Apparently, it says right here. I've never watched Pacific Rim, So, well, there you go. So, yeah, I mean, I like John Boyega. I think they really did him dirty in the movie.
Yeah, we had talked about this on the Scrubbed episode. I don't think he was given a clear direction as to what was going to happen with his character. And if he did, it was just turned out to halfway through.
Yeah, he just turned out to be the guy who yelled Rey.
Yeah.
You know, no offense, but that's what they kind of turned him into, and he should have.
And I would say in Force Awakens, he did have an idea of what to expect from his character because he did amazing.
He was a lead.
He was absolutely amazing.
It was he and Daisy were the lead actors in the movie. And what has Daisy been doing? She's got some stuff here. I don't know what any of this is either, unfortunately. Video game, short, documentary short, Chaos Walking. She was the voice. Did you ever see the 12 Minutes, the game that came out?
I've heard a lot about it. I haven't watched that game.
She was the voice of the wife.
Really?
I didn't know that because Willem Dafoe is the cop guy in it.
Yeah.
Really weird, kind of a trippy game.
Yeah,
honestly, the swerve in that was a little, but it was very interesting play.
Yeah, I think I might actually get that. I just saw an article on that coming to Game Pass, and it's actually coming to PlayStation and Switch too.
Yeah. So, I didn't know that. Then she's got some post and pre-production stuff. The Marsh King's Daughter, Woman in the Castle, then The Inventor. The Inventor, she's just a voice, but so yeah, I mean, she's got some stuff going, but not really a ton either. Of course, she's done some voice work. Yeah, that's interesting. She's done a little bit, but she didn't really do much before Star Wars either. So I don't know. I mean, why not? Why not give her some stuff?
Yeah.
Let's see what Oscar Isaacs. I mean, I know what he's done, but like, what else has he done? just to be consistent. Look up
the details.
Moon Knight. He is Moon Knight. Oh, he's Marvel now. Oh, buddy. He's Marvel.
He's jumping over the fence.
I didn't know that. I knew Moon Knight was coming around. They re-released a comic of it. Interesting. He didn't do much after Rise of Skywalker. It was like a movie. Well, that's a short. The Letter Room is a short. Card Counter in 2021. Then Dune, obviously.
He was in a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Moon Knight, I would imagine. Where do you see that at?
Well, no, that's 2018. That's an animated.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dude. Yeah, there we go.
Miles Morales.
Interesting person number one.
Nice.
Fun. Yeah, very cool.
X-Men Apocalypse. He was in Apocalypse. Who was he?
Apocalypse? I don't know. There you go. Yeah, I mean, he's done some stuff for sure. He was probably one of them, probably out of the three, the more accomplished one. But yeah, so he's Metal Gear Solid. He is Solid Snake.
Really?
Solid Snake. Yeah.
You're kidding.
Nah, yeah. I remember this now. I'm remembering a lot now. Yeah.
Huh.
So he is Solid Snake. He is Moon Knight. He was he was Duke Atreides, Leto Atreides. And then he's also Gomez Adams in the animated, which looks terrible. I mean, the animation
style looks terrible.
The story, I'm sure, is fine. I did not know he was Moon Knight. I don't know anything about Moon Knight.
I don't either.
I just know it's like the next thing Marvel is trying to do. Fantastic, good for you, Oscar.
Yeah, no kidding.
He doesn't need a Star Trek Disney Plus miniseries, I guess.
No.
Well, anyway, to get back to the point, expanding on them, sure, great. Do them right though. Mm-hmm. Like don't screw around with it. I remember we even talked about like the potential of the story of, they continue Finn's like Jedi stuff, and if they do like actual training, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I had also mentioned, the idea of, we have all of these Jedi who pass on all of their knowledge to Rey in the final battle between Palpatine. What if that is able to transfer in a way that she can now really understand the full scope of what it would be to be a light side Jedi, or even pushing into the gray realm, just understanding what the Force really wants and being able to start another academy, pass on, keep going with Luke's work. And, you could jump ahead 10, 15 years, introduce some new characters, keep the old cast, obviously, and, see what we could do then. But there's so many things they could do with these characters. I would hate to see them just throw them away now. We're just starting to finally get them somewhat fleshed out, with some of the books.
Right.
Resistance Reborn, we had mentioned, was a great example of that. We need more of that. We don't need another movie right now in any scope, any timeline. The movies need to be done for a while.
It just depends on what it is, but yeah, I mean, I think that they're kind of moving away from that.
They certainly are doubling down on TV, so I don't see why they couldn't do it one more time.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how that all goes, but I think that's pretty much beaten down.
Yeah.
What else was there aside from the?
Well, we have
last
Kenobi.
one? Yeah, was there anything else that we talked about or wanted to talk about before that?
No, I think it was just Boba Fett, that, or character announcements for Ahsoka and Kenobi.
Okay. Yeah, so Kenobi. Yeah, this is probably the series, I've looked forward to the most, but during I think it was like an investor day or whatever, there was stuff that was in quotations leaked that I didn't see, like people who filmed what they were showing. Obviously, you can't do that, but it always attempts to happen. So there was some stuff shown that we are not privy to right now. And there was a teaser that is actually pretty lame, to be honest, because all it is a mash of scenes from prior movies.
Mm-hmm.
We already know Kenobi's happening. I mean, we know that. We get it. We don't know the direction. We don't really know what it's specifically going to look like. We do, however, know that we are getting back Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in what capacity that is the debatable part, right? So this is effectively all after dropping off little baby Luke to Owen and Beru. And what does Obi-Wan Kenobi do during these intervening years?
I think we can all agree a lot death sticks. Finally went back and tried those death sticks.
Now, I don't know. I mean, Obi-Wan was always a practiced drinker. The guy could knock back a shot, so I think his thing is just, a little bit of fermented blue milk, he's got his own brews, he's laying down some casks or something like that.
Maybe that was just some deleted dialogue from the movies. Oh, the old wizard with his brewery right down the road.
Yeah. Luke comes back to find the plans for his next lightsaber, and he's like, "Oh my God, there's a basement. And it's just full of kegs." Obi-Wan was such a drunk. Old Ben, drinking so much.
That's why he doesn't remember anything.
He's got a distillery down there. He's making whiskey, space whiskey, Tatooine brandy.
I don't remember these droids. R2-D2, you drunk?
Go get me a drink, C-3PO. Yeah. So I don't know. The insinuation, though, in the trailer is that there might be another sort of fight between Obi-Wan and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not quite sure how that lines up with, actual canon events when you think about it, because, the point in A New Hope was it's been a long time. I haven't felt this presence in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And, but there again, what's a long time? 5 years can be a long time. 10 years can be a long time. We're talking about, how old is Luke in A New Hope? Let me look
19, 20,
45.
45.
No. Can you just give it to me? Is it too hard? Is it too hard to just give me the age? Is it too hard to give me Luke's flippin' age in A New Hope?
Clearly.
Is it too hard for me to get this? Okay, 19. God, so stupid. So, yeah. So we're talking 19 years old. So we're talking 19 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just long enough for everybody to look like they're about 70.
Yeah. Tatooine Suns, man.
Yeah. That's sand. So anyway, I I don't know. I kind of wanted to see him like do adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want to see him get off planet from time to time, do stuff, have his meditatory moment where he commutes with Yoda and Qui-Gon.
Yep.
I think there's a lot you could write there.
Just that alone, getting to the point where he learns how to become one with the Force and become a Force ghost. Ooh.
Last episode is advanced in time when he's looking a little older and Darth Maul shows up and we have a live action of Rebels. Rehash.
Scene for scene, move for move, same choreography and everything. Yeah.
Kenobi.
Only this time he has a spider leg.
That'd be funny, actually. Yeah, I don't know. Heck, even maybe his interaction with Luke, because, I mean, we've talked about this before. Luke clearly knows who he is, so he's been around. So maybe even interacting with a young Luke, that'd be interesting.
How would you like to be the kid who played young Luke, even in just a TV show? How awesome would you be?
I don't know. I know what happened to the actor who played young Anakin.
Well, true. Very true.
Unfortunately, he went down a very bad road. So I don't envy child actors. I actually don't think it's as cool as what it sounds like.
I guess being the parent at our age of someone who gets to be Luke would be cooler than for the kid.
I would never put my kid through acting at a young age.
True.
I think it's kind of cruel, to be honest. Because I think Hollywood is cruel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see kind of what that all plays out with. But the actual trailer though wasn't really much of anything.
No,
like I said,
half of it is just clips from Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I mean you have 5 words with Deborah Chow and then a little bit with Ewan McGregor. And then some models of Obi-Wan on a dewback and then some still art.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I actually was sort of thinking about is what if Obi-Wan encounters an Inquisitor? Because there was one of the pictures of somebody in darker armor coming off of a ship. So what if he had to fight an Inquisitor at one point?
It would be a little obscure, but I think it'd be a cool way to introduce the one you fight in Jedi Fallen Order, the second sister.
I think you'd have to kill it. I don't think they'd be able to survive for another bit of media, because then that would give him away.
True, unless he's on another planet and he escapes at the time.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. What the hell is this? A mermaid thing? Sorry, just the next video popped up and it's it's like a mermaid thing. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's still a little too soon to tell. A little too soon to tell what Kenobi's going to really be about. But
I think the biggest thing with a potential fight with Vader, in my mind, is prior to the events of Revenge of the Sith is when you see Vader at his strongest, and I don't see how Obi-Wan's surviving a fight with him at that point. I mean, he barely was able to hold his own in Revenge of the Sith, and near the end, he's so worn out. I mean, if that fight had gone on any longer, he probably would have easily been killed.
I don't think so.
Oh, I absolutely disagree.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
He won.
Absolutely won, but he would have worn out.
I don't think
if they kept going.
I don't think so.
I think that's why he moved it to the position he did.
I don't think so. I think it was just the strategy, because he knew that Anakin was overconfident. You fight to win. You don't fight to outlast. He was smarter than Anakin. He would have beaten him because Anakin was too driven by hate. I mean, there's no doubt that Anakin was powerful, and then
I'm thinking
more
of Vader, a stamina. I think stamina wise, he would have worn out quicker. If we're not talking as much strategy, if it's just one area instead of moving from place to place and trying to strategically put himself in a position to be able to do what he did, I think Anakin would have had more energy long term. He wouldn't have
Yeah, but that's I mean that's a what if. I mean that
True.
if you're fighting even matched on an open plane, that's not the reality. They were on Mustafar with different terrain. So I mean possibly, but again, power scaling in Star Wars is so weird.
That's why I think it would be kind of weird to have that fight now, because I mean, look at the power scaling of Vader.
Yeah, for sure. And I think where I start to like go to more, I think once you get more into Vader and he's more firmly entrenched in the dark side, I think he would be able to beat Obi-Wan like then, but not at Obi-Wan's prime. He is the consummate survivor. He is always the one who has survived practically everything.
And that kind of goes back to, you know, how big of a time jump do we get?
Yeah.
When we.
And I also want to bring this up. You know, there are a lot of people that would say like maybe Obi-Wan's lucky, but I'd much rather prefer being lucky than dead.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't necessarily say he's lucky though. I mean,
Well,
why people say he's lucky?
Yeah, but some people could say he's lucky, and I don't necessarily think that luck's much in it. I just think, you know, in the cosmic will of the Force, it was just his time to be who he was.
Yeah, I mean, you could make the same argument that Qui-Gon was unlucky in Phantom Menace, but ultimately he was in the position he needed to be in.
There's a lot about that. We discussed that in Master and Apprentice. I actually have my own sort of personal held belief that he knew his death was coming and he accepted it because it was time to pass on to Obi-Wan. I don't think it had anything to do with lack of skill or
Absolutely
lack of
not.
luck or Darth Maul being better than him. I think it was his time. I think he also saw it. So, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I mean, just in the sort of staying in the realm of having a face off again, I don't think there would be any real use in that right now. I think, you know, seeing Vader, okay, but I don't think that the two of them would actually. I don't see the point in them facing off or even seeing each other again until the events of New Hope. It doesn't make much sense to me.
I mean, it kind of ruins the moment in New Hope in a way when you think about it.
Yeah.
And also, is this TV adaptation of the fight gonna surpass our Mustafar fight? Is it gonna be some epic thing that's 10 times better than that, or is it just gonna leave us disappointed by comparison?
Well, now I'm remembering one of the other things we talked about was with how kind of lame the New Hope fight was because they didn't
the
really,
fencing style fight.
Yeah, they didn't really have the choreography that they had in say Revenge of the Sith. And I think that there are a lot of people that want to have that again, but it's like, well, just go watch Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Just go watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was basically the pinnacle of an athletic style of lightsaber combat dictated by form and style. So
yeah, and the logistics of doing better than that in Vader's suit, I mean, it's going to come down to just brute force at this point.
Yeah.
If he fights Vader now.
Yeah, and I mean it works in the animated series, and I think they did a pretty good job of his movement in Rogue One, the end of Rogue One. But he was also only fighting a bunch of, you know, just randos with blasters. And he was able to effectively neutralize that pretty quickly.
Yeah, and if you think of like in the end of Jedi Fallen Order, where he's just more of just an insta-kill boss that you're running from.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think of, and just seeing Obi-Wan deal with that would be kind of jarring. I don't think I would enjoy that.
Yeah. So I don't really see that being a major factor in the show, a confrontation. But it does seem like that's what they're trying to allude to, which again could just be a little bit of teasing, a little baiting.
Well, one thing we had talked about in our last episode, you know, you had kind of alluded to potentially Obi-Wan influencing Anakin in a way.
Well, like Revan with the Sith Emperor.
Yeah. I think that would be kind of cool. You know, you could get some shots in Vader's meditation chamber with the helmet off. Obi-Wan trying to influence him, maybe having a dialect of some kind drudging up the past. I think that would be more impactful than a battle at this point.
Yeah, I've rethought about that too. You know, I mean, the whole thing is it does kind of take a little bit away from Luke, but at the same time, it would be, you know, you're talking about Anakin's former, you know, well, master and as well as more of his like Force brother there, having a little bit more overall influence on perhaps the sort of doubt in Vader's mind, and that could even be the doubt that Luke sensed and then Luke exploits and then brings him back around to the light side. So I actually think that that would be personally pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
I mean, realistically, when you think about it,
And by the way,
in an emotional standpoint, Obi-Wan had a lot more memories and experiences with Anakin than Luke ever got to.
Yeah,
so he should be able to influence him more.
well, and just to have the tie-in, the tie-in is that they don't actually physically meet, but they can meet on a spiritual plane.
Right.
So their face-off could be more metaphysical than physical.
I mean, we had also mentioned kind of the whole Rey Kylo thing, the connection.
Oh, yeah,
we could see something.
dyad.
Obviously not, you know, I don't think they're going to throw it as, oh, yeah, they had a dyad too. No,
Yeah,
I don't want that because I don't want that overused.
Make them kiss. Somebody
Not
out
that
there,
kind of dyad.
somebody out there in a fan fiction is like, "Come on, kiss him."
the first time they interact, it's a carbon copy of Kylo, Anakin shirtless, all burned. Obi-Wan's like, "Oh God, I did that to you." Put a shirt on.
You kind of cut off my legs and left me next to an active pit of lava.
Oh, hold on, Master. Let me just let me look like I did last time I saw you. Let me remove my legs.
Well, Anakin, you did always like your chicken extra crispy. God. I also kind of hope we get some of that like Obi-Wan wit though too. Like his little jokey stuff, you know, sarcasm. But the dude's been through a lot. You know.
Well, I want to see more of what he's been through, though. I mean, in a messed up way, I love Obi-Wan, but I want to see all the terrible things that happened.
I'd like to see him tortured for the rest of his days. Well, I mean, like, I think some neat Easter eggs you could place in there, like something from Satine, you know, like, I don't know, just a piece of her, whatever that might be, like a headdress or, you know, one of her goofy headdresses or whatever. You know, just something I think would be kind of cool. Maybe his old Republic armor.
Yeah.
Like
that'd be
just
cool
hanging in the background of his hut or something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool to see.
I'm surprised that's never been CGI'd into A New Hope when they're sitting in his hut.
God.
Just put his clearly like super nice compared to this grungy old hut. Or, oh, yeah, let me find this lightsaber. Oh, I don't need that. Chest plate.
Yeah. I don't even remember any of this stuff.
It doesn't even look like it would fit me.
I'm so wasted. I'm just so wasted on Ben's whiskey. Oh, so wasted.
Do you think we'll get much from Beru and Lars?
Yeah, I think that's another thing we discussed. So yeah, good call. I would say so. I would probably say we're going to get to the point where, and you said it now because I said it last time. Lars, it's Owen.
Oh my God,
Owen.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah. No, it's perfectly. Lars is their last name because it's Klieg Lars, and then so Owen and Beru. I did that when we tried this the first time. I think what we might get is Owen's sort of why he doesn't want Luke going around Obi-Wan, and kind of like maybe they had a little blow up. Maybe at some point Obi-Wan was like, I should teach him the Force. He's like, no, I don't want him to like his dad who just like murdered all those sand people. Like, do you not remember that? I wasn't there. Well, let me show you. Look at it. Look at all the dead people. The women and the children too. The sand people. They have legends about it now.
Why are the bodies still here? We didn't want to mess with it.
We just let the bodies hit the floor.
I don't know, I think it'd be funny, like, directly right after Revenge of the Sith, like, second day, old Luke. He's like, okay, time to start his training. No, get out of here. Come back in 8 years. Okay.
Well, another thing, they could have Obi-Wan go to Shmi's grave. They could do a little tie-in for that too.
That'd be pretty cool.
And I think it'd be a little bit more impactful with Qui-Gon, but I mean, Obi-Wan was also there. He was just kind of a dick about it all.
Let the slaves be slaves. We don't need them.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a lot you could exploit. I just I hope they do it some justice. I'll tell you what, Ewan McGregor seems also awful excited.
Yeah.
So if he's excited, I think we'll be fine.
Well, the good thing is no matter what happens, I think his performance as the character will be entertaining.
Well,
regardless.
he is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Like there's no one else to play Obi-Wan Kenobi in that age range period.
Yeah.
I mean, Alec Guinness was super great as Old Ben. I liked him as Old Ben. He might not have enjoyed Star Wars, but I enjoyed his portrayal. But yeah, I mean, younger-ish Obi-Wan is always going to be Ewan McGregor. What if they brought back his Attack of the Clones mullet?
The plasticky mullet.
I just decided to grow it back out.
The question is his beard going to look as nice as in Attack of the Clones?
Well, the little weird model thing, it looks like he's got kind of like a little bit bigger beard, little salt and pepper in there and everything. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about the aesthetic. But at any rate, lots of sand.
Yeah. And hopefully Qui-Gon.
Oh, I think
it has to happen.
I think that's a must.
And honestly, that might be a more emotional and pivotal moment in the show than any interaction with Anakin.
Yeah. It's like, look, Obi-Wan. I'm a ghost. Ooh.
I can teach you to be one too. You're gonna need it here soon.
Qui-Gon, stop getting into my whiskey.
It's 3 a.m, Qui-Gon.
It's really good. You've done a good job, Padawan.
The circle is complete. You are now the master.
Well, the only thing though is that, so obviously during the timeline, Yoda's still alive. He's on Dagobah. I think we actually might have talked about a Yoda ghost, so let's scratch that.
Oh, I think we did.
But communing with Yoda, I
Yeah.
think, could still happen. Maybe maybe he goes to Dagobah. That'd be pretty epic.
That would be nice.
Like they dust off the old puppet.
I would like to think that, Yoda had at least one visitor in the 19-year span.
Well, I mean, despite the fact that it was when he was a Force ghost that Obi-Wan was able to tell Luke to go to Dagobah, so he knew. I don't know if that's...
He could have told him beforehand. He could have found him afterwards.
Yeah.
I would like to think that when they split, they didn't know where each other was going. And, or at least
Right, but
he didn't know where Yoda for their own safety, and then they eventually made connection through the Force.
That's actually an interesting question. I'd have to rethink back on Revenge of the Sith.
Might have to rewatch the last few minutes, honestly.
Because I don't remember if he specifically said where he was going or not, or if he was just going into exile. But regardless, I'd like to see live action puppet Yoda, Frank
With
Oz.
his little bow, hunting.
Oh God,
That'd be funny. Like the very start of every episode, it just cut to Dagobah and he's like hunting a frog or something, and then it cuts back to the action.
like Yoda, Master Yoda, this soup is quite bad. Yes, it is.
This is why I'm dying. It's poison. I've been drinking poison for 19 years.
The reason why he's all kooky when we get him later on is because he's just been eating poison frogs the entire
The reason
time.
he's all kooky is because old Ben dropped off a little bit of his whiskey.
Oh God.
He's drunk through the entire movie.
He's just, well, I don't remember if you made this joke or somebody else around me did, but like Yoda just effectively being the apex predator of Dagobah.
Yeah.
You just see him flying around, just snatching random frogs from everywhere. The reason why nobody was on Dagobah is because it housed a predator, an apex predator.
Luke lands. I heard there's a monster on Dagobah. Yoda's like, that's silly. I've been here all this time. I don't know of any monster.
Monster? It's me. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we can consider that beaten to death there. But I mean, out of all the series, I think we both said way back when that Kenobi was probably the more anticipated.
Absolutely.
Mandalorian obviously took a lot of attention there, which was good. Oh, well, there was one little other tidbit we didn't actually talk about, but I did remember it as I was going through here. So do I still have it up or not? Maybe not. Oh yeah. So Rangers of the New Republic, which was, whose project was this? That's so stupid. I'm forgetting her name. Yeah, she did the Highway to the Danger Zone trailer for it, like Top Gun in space. Oh, for Pete's sake. I can't spell either. I can't spell Republic. Who is it?
You talking about the Jurassic Park lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of her name
was
either.
that who it was?
Well, it wasn't Deborah, so it'd have to be.
That's not Deborah Chow. Yeah, this is what kind of POs me. All we talk about is the producers, the executive producers. I wonder if they took her off of it. Why is this taking so long for me to find who is supposed to be directing this? This is really, really stupid. Because effectively whatever, man. I'm getting really irritated right now. Internet is not doing what I want it to do. And I might even be thinking about the wrong one. Whatever. So we had one of the projects that was pushed back. And it was the Top Gun-ish Star Wars one. So apologies, I cannot think of what the heck it is. And I'm assuming you can't either.
No.
This is really. I'm just gonna try and go. Well, yeah, this is why nobody likes news, because it's all written ridiculously like clickbait, and then I have to click out of like 10,000 flipping things. Rogue Squadron, Patty Jenkins, right? Something, yeah, Patty Jenkins. That's what it was. Rogue Squadron, not Rangers. Rangers of the New Republic was going to be kind of like a Cara Dune spinoff. Obviously, that's not going to happen. So Rogue Squadron, this is what it was. Wonder Woman. She did Wonder Woman. And this one was effectively, I don't know if it's KIA or not, but I have been reading that it was effectively kind of pushed back. Delayed is what they say. I don't know. Starting production in 2022 with no probably end of year. Sources say the producers and filmmaking team came to the realization that Jenkins' schedule and other commitments wouldn't allow for the window needed to make the movie in 2022. So not even in 2022. So I don't know. This could be like he said, she said, but apparently it's possible that like Patty Jenkins, they're saying is too busy. Is too busy to do the movie that she was supposed to do for Star Wars.
She must be doing some amazing things other than that then.
Well, that's an interesting. Let's look her up. What is she doing? Lately. I mean, like I said, Wonder Woman, which I know a lot of people. I don't think she did 1984 though. Or did she? Did she do both of them? Yeah, she did. Okay, duh. So what has she got? She did two. She directed 2 episodes of Entourage back in the day.
Nice.
That's funny. And an episode of Arrested Development. That's cool. So Wonder Woman, no idea what that is. I Am the Night TV series, don't care. Wonder Woman 84, Cleopatra Interesting. And then I bet it's probably
Wonder Woman 3.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably what's. Oh, this looks interesting. Who's? Oh, with. Oh, okay. So she just is hitching her giddy up to Gal Gadot. Got it. Understand. Cleopatra's also Gal Gadot is Cleopatra. Really? Because Gal Gadot is Israeli, right?
I don't know. Click on the name.
No. I think she's so she's from Israel, but whatever, I don't care. I mean, they're
A little old to be Cleopatra.
I don't think so. She looks great.
Maybe I'm not. It's hard to see from that size picture.
She looks great. I don't even know how old she is. But I don't think that really matters. I mean, they have 30-year-olds play teenagers.
True.
Yeah.
Original Spider-Man Toby.
Yeah, and coming back.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, he's going to look great.
Yeah.
It's funny in the Into the Spider-Verse that we mentioned earlier, so in Miles Morales'
Gal Gadot's only 36.
Oh, okay.
She's not old.
In the Miles
she looks great. She's cool.
In the Miles Morales one, the Spider-Man of that multiverse dies, but he's older and he's got like a beer gut and everything, and he's looking kind of rough. And I just picture it being Toby if they ever made a movie out of it.
Yeah. Huh. But yeah, that's I mean, I would have to assume that Wonder Woman is they're trying to put precedence over.
I can understand that.
Rogue
It's probably gonna bring in more money.
Yeah, I didn't watch either of them.
I watched the first one. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard 84 is a bit of has some moral things in it, with body snatching and stuff like that. But it also has I never remember his flippin' name. Never remember his name. I don't know why. Pedro Pascal. He's like the villain in it.
I didn't know that.
In 84.
Yeah.
Huh. And obviously Mandalorian.
Right.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I think we're just getting into ramble territory now, though. So, but yeah, I just thought we'd mention that because that's been out of there. So, Rogue Squadron's delayed.
I mean, obviously, we don't really nothing about, but it'd be something both of us would be pretty excited about.
Yeah. But I mean, everything's kind of biting the dust, though, from that original TV lineup. I mean, aside from like Kenobi, obviously Book of Boba Fett's ongoing. But let's go down through the list here real quick. So Book of Boba Fett, cool. Andor is supposedly still on.
That'll be great.
Hopefully, yeah. I liked Andor as a character. Obi-Wan series, cool. Mando 3, obviously 2022, which is kind of annoying. I would have rather had that than Book of Boba Fett, no offense. Rogue Squadron, delayed. Ahsoka, conceivably still on. Rangers of the New Republic, more than likely dead on arrival. Lando, I didn't think that was going to happen, to be honest with you. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it if it is.
It would probably be very good. I'm sure it would be.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't really see. But the thing is, I don't think that they've even casted like Donald Glover for it. So
if they can't get Glover, it's dead in the water.
Yeah, Acolyte.
The one we know the least about.
Yeah, Acolyte. Haven't heard anything new. A Droid Story, I do believe that's animated, so that's definitely going to come on.
Couldn't care less about that.
The Taika Waititi film that we have no idea about.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll happen. Kevin Feige film. Who the hell knows what that is? Some other film. Untitled Johnson films. I think Rian Johnson's also dead on arrival too. I don't think that I think that there's been enough dissension within the ranks and outside regarding Rian Johnson that I don't think it'll happen. It could, but I don't think. And I'd be fine if it did. I just don't think it will.
I mean, potentially, if he could write the entire story, it might be good. I just think with this multi-writer crap, Well,
he tried to rewrite what was already starting to go. That's just my opinion, But
I think it would be funny if he got a trilogy and someone took over for the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, but that was all the way back in like 2017. They were talking about that, so that it's been talked about for some time, and I just don't think it'll ever happen. I mean, just like the Game of Thrones guys, you know, they were. I mean, what have they done? They were supposed to do Star Wars, and then
I don't think they backed out because they had anything else going on. I think they just had disagreements and backed out.
Yeah, and then they were supposed to do that Netflix thing. I don't think they ever did that too. I'm going to look them up. I think we started talking about that on the, Benioff and Wise. Let's see, Netflix. Did they actually? No, I don't want all that. Did they actually do anything for him? They're working on projects. So
working on projects, but nothing can actually be named.
It's a big contract too. Writers and executive producers, Netflix adaptation, a sci-fi book trilogy, The Three Body Problem. I don't know what that is.
You know, with how adult their media
story
is, I'd have to wonder how much conflict there'd be between them and Disney and making a Star Wars movie.
Well, there's new stuff that's come out that George Martin was getting really angry at them, and by like season 5 of Game of Thrones. So, to be honest, I don't know how much I can really put into them either. So I'm not sure. But regardless, I think that's probably getting towards the end. Anything else we need to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
Well, folks, we'll try and be a little bit more regular as far as just general stuff. Obviously, Christmas time is coming up, so there might be some lags in that until we hit Boba Fett. But we're going to try and get a little bit in the hole and just kind of roll through, get some new stuff out there. But hopefully you guys enjoy, and do make sure to let us know if there's anything you would like us to talk about. Hit us up on Twitter at TC Plan Podcast, Facebook, or just send us an email to tcplanpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll be more than happy to talk about that. But I think that's about all for this week, so you guys have a good one.
And as always, may the Force be with you.